morning. I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, right here in Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. And today, my special guests are Miss Angel Savoy and Miss Adrienne E. Bell. Welcome, ladies.
Hi, Pastor. How you doing?
Hey, listen, thank you guys for coming today. Hey, Angel, look, you've been here before.
Yes.
And we talked about, the last time you came, we talked about your company called Fit and Flavorful. Give us an update.
The update is I was last here. I am now licensed now, LLC, Fit Flavorful. You can find me on Instagram, Fit and Flavorful. But it's a meal prep company that I started a couple of years back because myself was overweight. And my biggest issue was food. So once I learned how to meal prep, it saved me a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it just made it a lot easier. So before you knew it, 70 pounds came off. I decided to start helping other people, and that's how it was born.
Yeah. So I mean, you started preparing meals for other people, healthy meals.
Yes.
Yeah. And so now it's expanding.
It is, and it's been awesome when somebody sends me a picture and shows me that they can fit into pants that they couldn't fit into before, or when they tell me I always thought healthy food was boring, and so it's been fulfilling to kind of be with them going through that process, because I remember that I was there before.
Yeah. So Angel, now you not only prep, you could prep for 1 meal a day,
Yeah.
3 meals a day. All week long?
All week long, 2 weeks. They can freeze them, whatever their heart desire, whatever makes their journey easier for them. That's what it's all about. So it's some people I prep for all the meals a day. Their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like I said, they can freeze them, they can take them on the go. But the most important part that it makes it a lot more convenient for them, because most people fail on the food. So once the food is taken care of, the rest of it goes.
So what are some of the things on the menu?
Oh my God. I do a little bit of everything.
You do a little vegetarian? What's the words you use?
I do vegan, pescatarian, keto, paleo, pretty much whatever journey you're on. I'm here to help and make it a whole lot easier for you. So yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
And it has flavor to it.
Oh yeah, I learned how to cook with flavor because I'm a person that gets bored really easy. So if food bores me, I tend to fall off very easy. So that's the whole thing, to do it and for you to not feel like you're eating healthy, so that you just don't feel restricted.
Now, also the last time you came, we talked about Jonathan, your husband, who has On-Time Tire Company.
Yes, last time I was here, he was just coming out of year 7. He has just went into year 8, and he's actually just decided to expand and now get us a towing company going. So he's been doing very well. As like I said the last time, Jonathan started On-Time Tire because he was fired from a job for no reason. He's always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and that day was the same day he decided to start. That was 8 years ago. He was 26 years old. He's 34 now, and just opened up his second DBA. So he's gone.
So whether it's a car, a truck, a tractor, a diesel, he can take care of all
of it. Bulldozers, buses. He's gotten called for an airplane tire before.
What you say?
He has done it on motorcycles, and he's 24 hours. That's the difference. He will come to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter where you are. He doesn't try to get you to come to him, because that can damage your tire even more. So he'll come right out to you day or night.
Now, also, I think you told me that he also provides, like if you run out of gas.
Yes.
And things of that sort.
He does emergency fuel. He does battery boosting, car unlocking. He's even gotten people home before they had a little too much to drink. So whatever the case, to get you home safe, that's absolutely what it's all about.
Well, listen, I want to make sure we put Jonathan's number up there for On-Time Tire and On Yo Towing. Yeah. There's the numbers right there on the screen for if you need help with On-Time Tire. And but Adrienne,
yes, sir.
You're here because you put this book in my hand called "When the Soul Cries: Trauma, Tears, and Triumph." Let's put that on the screen up there real quick, so that so you can see the book that I'm holding in my hand. So Adrienne, tell us, what are you?
Well, first of all, I am the founder of the Fearless Storytellers Movement. It's a movement where I have put together a group of women who are all about accountability when it comes to our romantic relationships, taking accountability for the things that have happened in our childhood. Even if it wasn't our fault, we still have to deal with it. And so I'm excited because Angel is our best-selling author
Wow.
of the Fearless Storytellers movement. She has done her work, and that's why her name is on that book, Angel, Savoy, and
Wow.
Fearless Storytellers. Each storyteller has their own book cover with their name on it, and it says Fearless Storytellers as well.
So I'm looking in here, and it has, 17 different storytellers.
Yes, 17 storytellers, yes. And they're each telling their story about, for example, I'm not going to give it away.
Don't give it away, don't give it away.
But there are stories in there about people that have been married multiple times, women who have woken up and their babies were no longer alive. Just different things that have taken place that were traumatic in the life of a woman. And the soul of a woman, we really wanted to bear. Sometimes we talk a lot about abuse, but we don't talk about emotional abuse. We don't talk about financial abuse. Those are all types of abuse that never get addressed. So we kind of want to put that, this kind of Bible for women to go to, an encyclopedia, so they can say, wow, I see myself in this story.
Now, Angel, since you're on the cover, she's on the cover of the book right there at the bottom. Okay, on page 95, we start talking about your story. It's called, the title of the chapter is called Cheating Approved.
Cheating Approved.
So what's going on, Angel? Tell us what's happening.
Well, that's exactly what was happening. We went through a period where we had gotten very far away from God, and we were very young in our marriage, but we just got far away from what we knew the basis of marriage was, and we just allowed a lot of stuff to happen that just should not have happened. So my story is mainly dealing with, you know, where I was when I allowed that to happen. And then it kind of just takes you on a ride when I really came to a place where I realized that we have done a lot of damage, and how can we fix this? So that's kind of where my story is. Just things that we allowed. At the time, of course, I wasn't really dealing with the fact that I had a choice. I kind of made an excuse. So once I got to the point where I started holding myself accountable, and that was very uncomfortable, it was very ugly, but it was the only way to heal and get to the place of trauma.
So tell me this, how did you get over the guilt and the shame without telling, because I don't want to tell the whole story. They got to get the book. You have to get the book and read the book. But how do you get beyond the shame and guilt?
Just coming back to a place, well, I'll speak for me, coming back to a place of understanding that God forgives. And then once I realized that God forgives me, I had to forgive me, and then that's my husband's forgiveness, of course. So it was a process, and I definitely don't want it to come off as if it was easy. I mean, it was a lot of moments that I wanted to check out because I felt like I was getting like a whole lot of grief. But I just held on to it because I know that God put us together. So I just had to right the wrong. So I had to kind of take the beaten up moments and all that stuff. So it was a process of just kind of letting go and just realizing that this thing does not change who I am. Just finding my way back to God.
Now, it's always difficult to do a self-examination and expose yourself. But I mean, put it in the book. Put it in the book. Tell us about the process.
It was, well, for a couple of years, I was told by a few different women who have never met me, never had a real conversation with me. They were like, you're going to do something big one day. You're going to change lives. You're going to build up women, but you have to do what God told you to do. And I was just like, well, I don't know what that means, because I don't even like to talk to a lot of women, so I don't know what I can possibly do. So I heard it, but I didn't quite receive it at that time. And I heard it again about 8 months later from another total stranger that was like, wow, you have a gift. You're going to change some lives, but you have to do what God is telling you to do. And I'm like, I don't know what God is telling me to do. And then finally the third time I realized it was me. It was me telling my story. The one thing I wasn't willing to do. Because my marriage is very private and I'm very protective of it, and I watch what I say. But once it came, kind of showed again what it was about, I was like, okay, so this is on me. It's time to swallow the pride and don't worry about what people think, and do it because you have to. So that's how it actually came about, because I ran from that for 2 years.
Now Adrian, I mean, you have 17 women who tell their story.
Yes.
the story of their life, how were you able to get them to open up and share these most intimate details of their lives?
Well, I'm anointed to ask questions. That's what I do. That is what I get paid.
Well, I might just put you on this side.
Well, hey, you know, it would be a different kind of conversation, for sure. Because you say, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm not on the fan here." But what I'm able to do with these women, not just those particular women, but just in general, make them feel safe and say, "Hey, I'm a safe place." So I know that I'm talking people. That's heart and hand and earth, and that starts with being a safe place. So I let the women know, here, I'm not here to exploit you. I'm not here to make money off of you. I'm here so that you can be free by telling your story. Somebody else needs to hear what you have to say. Now, you don't have to be a preacher. You don't have to be this eloquent speaker to tell the truth. Yeah. And that's how we were able to get them to tell the truth.
So how many people actually reached out to you to say, "Hey, I want to tell my story"?
Well, I had about 107 submissions.
Wow.
One Facebook post. And that's just off the top. That doesn't include how many people responded to the post itself.
107?
107 submissions, yes, sir. From just one post back in August. So we actually did all of this from August to now. This has not been a year process, which it should have been, but it wasn't. It was from August to now. We were able to have these stories published. And these women, they just, initially the women that tried to become a part of the movement, they weren't ready. They weren't healed. They just wanted to vent and say, "Oh, this happened to me." Yeah. And I said, "No, this is not what this is. If you're not able to take accountability for what you did, we've all been victimized, but we're not victims. And you have to carry yourself as such." And some of them said, "Oh, well, this is not for me." And I said, "We agree." And I redirected them, and they went on their way. But the ones that did decide to say, you know, there was a process even with those. Some of them didn't realize they weren't healed in an area until they wrote the story, right? And so it was a riveting process. We cried, we prayed, some of us fasted during the process. So so I had to do it 17 times.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a journey. But I have an amazing team, so it wasn't all me. I have an amazing team of editors and all of that. So it wasn't just me. I had a team.
Angel, you seen the Facebook post. And so what was in your mind when you seen the Facebook post after hearing these ladies tell you that God's going to do something great in your life because of your testimony? So when you seen the post, what do you think?
I scrolled past.
You went right past it.
I still was not, I just wasn't receiving it at that time. If it had to do with me speaking about something I was so guarded about, I wasn't ready. So I just passed it up. I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then when it was somebody commented on it again about a month or two later, and it popped again, and I was still like, is this what it is, God? It was just one of those conversations. And so when I reached out, and again, she was very specific what she was asking for. So because I didn't specifically fit into it, I was just kind of like, okay, well, I shouldn't respond. I need to leave that open for a woman that specifically fits into that. But then once we spoke, she was like, "No, you're gonna be a great fit." She's like, "I'm glad you actually finally reached out." And that's kind of how it happened. So it was supposed to be a 5,000 word submission, and I think I did
17,000.
You start pouring your heart out.
17. I said, "Sugar, I'm gonna have to give that back to you. Yeah. We only need 5,000 words."
Yeah. And no, but no, actually it was 21,000. Yes, and she gave me the option to edit it down. And when I thought I did great,
you got 17,000.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I was like, that was it.
You said, "Baby, it's still too much."
Yeah, I was just like,
but
oh
in
my
all
God.
fairness, I didn't give any of them a limit at the beginning, because I wanted them to pour. Yeah. And then the team can go and make the adjustment, and that's what we did. But I want them to pour from a pure place. And you can do that when you're in a safe place. So that's what she was able to do. So her new book, her full book, will come out probably 2020, 2021.
Never know.
Depends on how her tour schedule is going to be the next few months.
Well, okay, Angel. Now, since this is such a sensitive subject, what was to come out and share this information? Certainly, you had to speak with your husband about being able to come and share with the public this personal information. So tell us about that
Well, I think he always knew it was in me, just as I did too, but we didn't know where it was going, because I have tried to create like private chats on Facebook to kind of give people an opportunity to speak. I started a blog once that just kind of fell flat, and I just think he knew it was something there, both of us, but we really didn't know what was trying to be birthed out of it. So once I decided to do this, you know, I went to him. And I'll be a little bit more honest to say it wasn't even necessarily for permission. It was kind of more or less to say, I have to do this. And, you know, I just need you to be okay with it. So he was like, hey, I mean, you always supported me, you know, and I can't say no. So it was kind of like that. So once he read the rough draft, he was like, he was like, So it got a little weird in there for a little moment, because it was just things that we really have gotten over and put out of our minds, and now we had to kind of rehash this and relive it. And so he was definitely, you know, feeling a little way about it, but he never told me no. He just supported it, and he just felt like it was time to just support back, because like you said, even when we didn't have, I gave him all my support no matter what, so he returned the favor.
So talk to me about the forgiveness process, because, you know, if somebody cheats in a relationship, it could be devastating.
It was, and we both handled things a little different. Of course, my story is more about the devastation on his part, with it being me. But I did touch on his part a little bit. I grew up in a household where my mom always reminded my dad of things he did wrong. So for me, it kind of created a woman that didn't want to be like that. So when his things happened, I talked about it, I processed it, and I kind of left it alone. But then when the shoe was on the other foot, I did not get the same mercy. I did not get the same fairness, the same kind. I mean, it was like just full out war. And I literally had so much grief about it. I had moments when I just was like, maybe this is the season. Maybe it's time to check out of this. But I didn't. I held on to it because I know that God put us together, and it was something that we both had to gain, because this was both of our mistakes, you know. We allowed the devil to come into a union that God built, and we had to go through this process. So the forgiveness process on my end, I'll just say, for me, it was quite easy, and I know my husband would agree. I did not throw it in his face. I didn't drag it out. And it's not to say that I wasn't hurting. I just processed things a lot different. But on the other end, I mean, I caught the hockey stick. It was rough. It was rough. And he still had triggers even years after that he just had to work through. And it just took time, and it takes you back to the moment where you messed up, and he did the whole blaming, like, had I not done this, would this even have happened? Right. But I had to take accountability for that, because initially I did blame him for it. I was like, you didn't do this, or I did this. But once I had that gut check moment with myself, it was just like, you made a choice. You made a bad choice.
And this book is about responsibility, Adrian. It's not about pointing a finger at anybody else. It's really about, hey, listen, I need to do a self-inspection and look at myself and see what the choices I've made.
Absolutely. Self-awareness is a gift. And I think people often overlook it and don't take it seriously. So accountability is a gift. You have to do a self-assessment and say, how could I have done better? A lot of us aren't even good friends to other women because we don't take personal accountability. And so, again, this book is not for the woe is me, oh, I'm a victim. No, this is not what this is. This is, yes, this happened, but this is not where I am today. And so accountability is what it's all about.
How did you process condemnation that the enemy tried to throw at you, as you come out of this thing, as you get to the place of triumph? How did you deal with the condemnation?
It was hard, because even though I know that I serve God that forgives, I still, as a human being, as a woman, especially a woman that cheated, because you don't really hear about women that cheat. You always about men.
And that's how they want to get up.
That's really what it was. So it was a lot to process just within myself, because I didn't want to be that person. So I beat myself up a lot, and because I was just really hard on myself, the devil had a good time messing with me about it too.
Oh yeah.
So it was a lot of moments where I just like felt less than, I, you know, just felt I wasn't worthy of this and that. And even though I had godly women in my life that were telling me, this is nothing, you just haven't walked into what you're supposed to be at, I didn't see it. I beat myself up all the time because I just felt like I can't believe I did that, or I wish I would have did something different. So I had a moment one day, and I literally called it a meltdown. It was me and my car, and my steering wheel caught hell. That day I just screamed, I beat the wheel. It was really a meltdown moment. And then I called a friend of mine, who I probably could have called at any time, but pride never let me call anybody or talk to anybody. And in that moment, everything was so clear. You know, because he even said too, this ain't even about you, this is about somebody else that you're gonna bless with this. And I was like, I'm still running. I'm like, I ain't telling nobody this, even in this moment. You know, so finally, after I came off of that, I decided to do a fast. I did a fast 7 straight days. I didn't do anything. I just talked to God, and I was like, you're gonna give me peace on this. I'm standing on your word. You told me that if I, you know, had faith, and I literally, I mean, I got close with God. It was like, it's time for you to do your part. Take this away. And that's literally what happened. Day 8, I woke up. It hadn't even felt like I hadn't ate. Like,
wow.
Just like normal. I think that I had me go play the turkey next and beans and rice. I mean, like nothing ever happened, you know, and I had peace. I had a peace over that. So even after that, when my husband would maybe get triggered or bring something up, it didn't even sink in anymore. I was just like, no, this is bigger than that. And that's just where I was with it.
Well, Adrian, how did the women process the pain, the depression that comes through these stories?
That's a great question. All of them had their own process of how to handle it. Angel is the reason why she's the best-selling author, one of the reasons is because she has mastered the art of self-awareness, vulnerability, and accountability. She's mastered it. She's really aware. And some of the ladies had never confronted the pain until it was time to write. So it's hard to say. Everybody had a different process. Some of them responded in anger. Some of them responded in not talking to me for 3 weeks. You know, some of them responded because, you know, they felt like you're taking me too fast. And then they come back and say, this is what I need. So everybody dealt with the depression. It was either depression or anxiety. It was one or the other. It was never both. So they had the internal anger, which is depression, anger turned inward, and the anxiety of, oh my God, what are my church members going to think? What is my pastor going to think? What is my coworker? What are my coworkers going to think? So they all have their own process. So thankfully, I have I major in psychology, so I'm able to help them go and navigate properly so that they can get the proper healing.
And it's a good point you made, because the church has to do a better job in not condemning people who made a mistake, because guess what? We all made mistakes.
Absolutely. And one of the young ladies, she was actually married to a pastor, and she went through a process of spiritual abuse in marriage, very public marriage, and it's you got to get booked, because you will look at it and say, wait, what? Because it's so, you feel like people should be able to tell these stories. Where are they going to tell them? Because if they go to church, they're going to get condemned. If they tell the world, it'll almost be celebrated almost. So you have to find a safe place where you can get that accountability and the prayer and the solution so that you can heal.
So, and what is your expectation when people pick up this book, When the Soul Cries?
I truly just want people to just not go through what I went through, that silent suffering. That's my whole thing, because that I really did. Even though I was in a good place in my marriage where I was finally fine, that took so much time, and in the process I was like bleeding to death inside, because I couldn't. Well, I felt like I couldn't say. So my goal, I hope that everybody realizes, is it's not meant to be negative. It's meant to show you that negative things can definitely happen, but you can come out on the other side. So I definitely want women all over the world to understand you are not alone. Somebody out there understands you. You're not stupid for saying. You're not, you know, all the things that we hear as women. You're not the bad word that they use for women that cheat. If you cheated, you know, all those things. You are a human being that you have made mistakes, whether it was because you strayed away from God or whether because you just made bad choices. But you can come out on the other side and somebody out there understands.
Adrian, you have some subject in here, chapters. I think I hate my husband.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's deep. It goes deep. It goes deep.
Another one was from the pole to the altar.
From the pole to the altar. Yes.
You can pick this book up.
They're literally, and eventually they're going to be documentaries as well. So right now we're just kind of processing through the book. They will eventually be documentaries.
Now, this is the first book of this kind.
The freshman class.
The what?
The freshman class.
That means there must be another class coming after that thing.
There will be another class. We have 6 of the 12 storytellers that we're going to have for the next edition. And then after that edition, we'll have the all-male edition.
Whoa.
Yes. Yes.
Now, it's going to be, men don't process stuff like women do.
Right? That's not true. I have to disagree. They process differently, but we don't like the way you all process information.
Okay.
But you actually do process information very well, it's just differently, okay? But men, they're going to be kind of dry snitching in the next book. So, in the next book, and kind of telling us some secrets. So, because I feel like the voice of the male is being silenced, and we have to put men back on the platform to say, hey sis, you know, he had a problem. You need to address this.
Right,
and so we're going to give real life examples from real men. And my husband will be in the book as well, because he has a story that happened way before me. Amen.
Adrian's like, oh, isn't that?
To be clear, way before me. We've been married 18 years, and he had a life before me. But he has a story to tell. And there are a lot of other men that do.
Now, you are taking this on tour.
Yes.
This trial tour.
Yes, we just got back from LA, and we'll be in Chicago this week, and we're going to be all over West Virginia, Texas. It's been all over.
And there were all the dates. I mean, Los Angeles, Chicago, what is that? Bellflower, Houston, here Beaumont. Now, when you're in Beaumont, you're going to do a book signing.
That will be me. That will
what
be
you say?
March 30th, from 1 to 4 p.m. at Cotton Creek Winery. Yes, that will be me. It is open to public. However, there is VIP options available at my website, angelsavoy.com. But I will be there signing. We're going to have some fun. I have a special guest coming. We're going to do panel interviews. I mean, we're going to have a blast.
Okay. Now, will the ladies who come be able to ask you questions?
Sure. Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about?
Yeah.
And you just going to...
Absolutely.
I'll be moderating.
You'll be
I'll say, get the
book. No, you got to make sure they buy the book before they ask a question.
Exactly. You have your book. Okay, turn page
95 through 105. 105. Look, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we won't give too much away.
No, we don't give. That's what I'm saying. You have to book, because listen, the whole point of this is to show you that, hey, people make mistakes, but you can recover from your mistakes and be victorious in life. You don't have to cry in your milk all day long. You can get up from your situation and make the best of it.
Right.
And you're living proof of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I decided to do, and I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for Adrian for giving me the platform finally to understand what God had been telling me to do all the time.
Well, I think it's going to be a blessing to those who read it. And listen, none of us have the right to judge. None of us have the right to judge. We've all messed up. We've all come short. But we recover. That's really the message of this book that I see.
Yes.
That this book about recovery.
Yeah.
That even though you've fallen, you got back up,
Yes.
and now you're going to help some other people. and then Adrian, we're going to come back book number 2, and then we're going to have the men. We're going to have the men come on and share their stories.
Oh gosh, yes, it's going to be amazing.
I can't. You have to come back and do that now.
Yeah. I can just preview. One of my writing partners is called How I Got Draws. That's
wow.
I'm just saying, it's to be in there. We got to say it.
Yeah,
we got to say it.
Now, mentioning that, this is not a church book necessarily.
Oh, that's very clear.
Yeah, this is very clear.
These are Christian women
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this is not a Christian book. I would not read it out loud at your Bible study.
Yeah, this is not
You
something.
know, what class you, how your church is set up. But it is a real, raw, uncut book for people no matter what God you serve. Now, we always have to just serve Jehovah Jireh. Okay?
Yes.
But the thing is, it's about accountability at the end of the day. It's about triumph. It's about going to the next level in your life after all of the trauma that has happened.
Yeah, because, you know, I wanted you to make sure you said that, because this is not a Bible study book.
No, it's not. Now,
In the sense, yeah, right,
yeah,
right.
like Pastor, you probably don't want to buy, you know, any book, you know, just for your women's group, but you know, let them do it on their own. I'm saying, you know.
I just said you don't want to buy their book.
Yeah, don't buy a book. Not for your church.
No,
Okay.
no, but it will definitely help.
Absolutely.
You know, because there are people who make the same decisions.
Absolutely.
But they never had the platform to be able to come out and share to help somebody else.
And it's safe and classy.
Right.
We did it classy. There's nothing in here where I don't believe in male bashing of any kind. I do not believe in that, and I'll let you know up front. If this is a male bash, I can't help you.
Right.
And so that's what we want to make sure that the men came out with dignity as well.
And that's why 90 people were unable to get into the book. Out of 107, only 17 got in there. So
yeah, I was very adamant about that.
and you never blamed your husband. You took responsibility.
I took responsibility after a little bit. Initially, the issue that we had, I believe that the door was open because of that. My husband's not a big talker. So when I had this infidelity issue, it was with the guy that talked a lot. So the door was opened by that, but that did not mean I had to walk through it. And at that time, I walked through it, really believing in cause and effect. But once I got back grounded and found my way back to who I know, which is God and Jesus Christ, I knew that was just a bad decision. That was just a bad choice.
How did you close the door?
Never going through that.
You gotta get the book.
Yeah, you gotta get the book.
You gotta get it.
It's there, but I mean, ultimately, you just make a decision.
But it gives people hope to let you know that you can close the door.
Oh yes.
You can close that door.
Everything is a choice.
Everything is a choice.
Everything.
I like to say it like this: life is choice driven. You will live or die by the choices that you make. And so, listen, I want to thank Angel and Adrian for coming today to share with us. Now listen, here's the book again. I'm going to put it back on the screen. It's called When the Soul Cries. And the book tour is going to be here on March the 30th. March 30th in the Beaumont area. And so for those of you who are in the Beaumont area and want to come and meet this author up front in person, you can come on March the 30th. Where are you going to be at?
Cotton Creek Winery from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
And then if you want to tell your story, you go to fearlessstorytellers.com and hook up with Adrian. And, you know, now again, she said you got to be healed.
or open to it.
Open to healing.
Open to healing.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, whether it's male or female.
Male or female.
Put that back up on the screen. So all the brothers who want to tell their story, amen, how they've been delivered, set free, amen, and have the victory day, they can get with Adrian at www.fearlessstorytellers.com, and you'll be blessed. Ladies, is there anything else you guys want to tell us today?
No,
As we get ready to leave.
Just follow Angel on social media, all platforms, Instagram, Facebook. She does amazing posts. You want to follow her. She's awesome.
She had 21,000 words, so so she got some more to tell. Those other 16,000 you can check out on her social media pages.
Angel the Fearless Storyteller on Facebook. Again, my website is www.angelstory.com. And I definitely post all kinds of uplifting stuff, pieces of me.
Okay. Now, let me give you that fit and flavorful number again in sight. So while you're getting a meal prep, amen, while you're eating the meal that she prepped for you, you can read the book. right?
You can.
Amen. And get delivered.
Yeah, all of that.
Okay, and then Jonathan's tire company is On Time Tire. Let me put that number back up for another time. Also on your toes.
There you go.
I'm gonna get Jonathan. I'm gonna get Jonathan for these names. So Jonathan, if you watching today, I'm gonna get you, brother, because I got a tongue twister. But I want to thank them for coming today, and I want to thank you for joining us right here on What's Happening in Our Neighborhood. And we will see you next time on our broadcast.